Everyman Radio Podcast interview with Sonja at JumpShip Brewery. Beautiful, alcohol-free beer.
Your essential guide to the hottest new music.
From 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. So I woke up, sun in my eyes, forgot all about what I did last night. What I do remember that it was real, real nice. Talks about me are never good. I don't live like the way that I should. Oh well, I'm in for some fun tonight. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's our time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Hey now, it's you and I. We could be the next Bonnie and Clyde. Hey now, don't be shy. Follow my lead if you wanna be mine. Oh, it's our time to rise up. Live the life we're proud of.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello, Sonja.
Hello.
Welcome to Everyman Radio.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And oh yes, I have something here.
Yay! A can of Yardam.
So, what do you call it? Yardam.
Yardam lager, yeah. So there's a nautical theme running through the naming. So it's JumpShip Brewing. Yardam is our first release.
Oh wow!
And I don't know, have you heard the expression "suns over the Yardam"?
No. How would I heard that? How would I've heard that expression? Sorry.
It's a colloquial expression that people use. It's people say, "Oh, sun's over the Yardam, time to have a drink." and it stems back. It stems back from the British Navy in the 1800s, when they had the square riggers, and the yardarm is the name for one of the spars on the mast. And so when the sun was higher than that part of the mast, it was when sailors got their first ration of rum. So in the North Atlantic, that was about 11 o'clock in the morning. And obviously this beer's alcohol free, so you could start even earlier if you wanted to.
Okay. No, that's great. And what am I thinking? Oh, yes, I'm thinking a couple of things. One is, have you recovered from the fear of the girl-eating monster?
Just about. But I sometimes tell my children the story just to show how cruel my big brother and my cousin were when I was little.
Yeah, just so that you know, listeners. So Sonja is my cousin. And so we would, I suppose, family occasions and the odd, they didn't live too far away from us. And so we would have meetings now and again. Meetings. But I was similar age to Sonja's older brother, Alex, who has kept his Whittle surname, unlike yourself, who's now a Mitchell, I believe.
Yep.
And I just remember one evening, many moons ago, where Alex and myself thought it would be funny to pretend that the girl-eating monster would keep Sonja awake if she didn't behave herself, or something like that. So that was our little childish prank.
I believed it, and I was really scared.
Oh dear. You're making me feel terrible now.
Oh, don't worry. It probably embedded deep in my psyche, which is now sort of many years later, I'm now sort of brewing the beer to show that girls aren't scared of anything.
Good. Okay, so I'm going to open this. I think you sent this to my mum.
Yeah, I think I did as part of a Christmas box.
And yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I shall open it. Oh. Well, it opens. I've just spilt it all over myself. Now, I'll be honest. When I first heard you were making alcohol-free beer, I just thought that was crazy. But because this was a couple of years ago, and I just thought it was a bit odd. I didn't really understand the concept. But anyway, let me try it. Yeah, it's quite nice.
Glad you like it.
Quite light and kind of beery. So why on earth are you making alcohol-free beer?
It started from a point of not being able to find the beer that I wanted to drink, which I think is probably why a lot of people get into brewing. I've always really enjoyed beer. Used to enjoy a lot of beer. And then having kids and life being busy, just really finding the alcohol wasn't going down so well anymore. And but still wanting a beer on a Tuesday night. So we started drinking some more alcohol-free beers, and most of them weren't great, but there was a German one I quite liked and started drinking a lot of, and I was thinking, you know what, it's really good to have a beer whenever you want one. But it's just a shame.
Why a Tuesday night? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I like
why Tuesday night? Sorry.
Well, I mean, I guess maybe it's a given that you have a beer on a Friday night, but actually, you know, when the kids are in bed, you got to the end of the day, it's just nice to sit down, have a beer, and relax. But
Okay.
you know, I'd find even like just one beer on a Tuesday night, on a Wednesday morning, getting the kids up for school, just feeling a bit scratchier and a bit more irritable than just thinking, yeah, no, just the alcohol's just not going down so well anymore. So, but not wanting to give up that lovely moment of relaxation at the end of the day when you crack open a beer and just life feels a bit better. But then I kind of found myself drinking alcohol-free beer that wasn't the kind of beer that I'd normally drink, because I normally drink quite a lot of I'm based in Edinburgh now. I like to enjoy a lot of Scottish craft beers, and just thinking, hang on, I'm just because I want to avoid the alcohol, I'm being forced to drink beers that I wouldn't normally be drinking. So just kind of got me thinking, well, there's room for a better one out there, and well, if no one else is going to make it, maybe I should have a go. And that's where the idea started, really.
Okay. No, it sounds good. I'll be honest. I've stopped drinking myself. As you probably know, you may know, you should know. I used to like drinking.
I do know you used to like drinking.
It's making me sound like an alcoholic. Of course, I was always a social drinker, and yeah, enjoyed it. So now I've made this switch to not drinking at all, so I can keep focused and sharp. And well, that's basically it, really. Just to, I'm doing so many different things that I need to kind of stay focused. And I have tried when I go out. So I have tried some of the alcohol-free beers. I tried the Heineken, I think Heineken Zero.
Yeah.
And it was kind of tolerable, but I suppose at the time I didn't really see the point, and I just thought, well, I might as well just get a lime and soda. It actually tastes a bit nicer than, and why not just drink that instead of having a pretend beer? I don't know. Sorry, please sell the virtues of alcohol-free beer, and in particular, Yard Arm.
Yeah, for me, it's about having that beery taste. So something that is that's got that sort of bitter edge to it that you don't get with most soft drinks. That's got a bit more complexity in the flavour, sort of the malts and the hops, a little bit more interesting aroma to it, and just that kind of satisfaction that comes from the flavour of a really good beer. And there's some actually quite interesting scientific research that shows that if you're a regular beer drinker and you have an alcohol-free beer, your brain reacts to it in the same way it would to an alcoholic beer. So you actually do get the sort of dopamine buzz that you would get from a normal beer. So I think so many ways we're sort of accustomed to getting that sort of that relaxation, that enjoyment from beer. And if you package it into like a really, a good beery flavor, it looks like a beer, it is a beer, then you just don't miss the alcohol in the way that I certainly do if I'm having a Coke or a lime and soda. I feel like I'm getting a proper drink, and that just makes my life better.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I have to say, I like it. I'm impressed. My question is, I'm dating at the moment. Pardon?
Your mum didn't tell me that.
Well, it's not one of the conversations I do actually have with my mum, or at least try to. I used to, back in the day, I found that beer was very good at crossing that bridge. Now, I don't really know why I'm saying any of that, or my point. I think it's just one of the jokes about beer and your
beer goggles.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, how will this affect my dating?
Well, I have noticed that when I've done tasting groups and I've had a group of strangers around my kitchen table trying different beers, that after the first couple of beers, alcohol-free beers, people start to relax in the same way that they would if they were drinking normal beers, and become a bit more relaxed and a bit chattier and a bit gigglier. So I think it creates the same atmosphere that an alcoholic beer does, just without the drawbacks. So I would say if you're going on a date, rather than having a lime and soda, having an alcohol-free beer will kind of help the conversation flow.
Okay, that sounds great. Problem is, I guess, distribution, because yeah, we can't find this. I couldn't go to the pubs and find it. So
Not yet, no. Unless you're in Edinburgh.
yeah, I did
Yeah.
notice on your website where you talk about distribution, or if we want to buy a few tins of the beer. I noticed there was quite a few in Edinburgh, but none sort of further south. I don't know. Is that how's that going?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only 3 months in, so it's all still quite new. So for national sales, I've been relying on online retailers, so sites like Dry Drinker who ship nationally, and then I've been going into pubs and bars locally, delivering direct from my bike or car. So so it's doing really well locally, and I've just got my first, as of Friday, distributor lined up down south, which gives me the opportunity to start selling into places down south, pubs and bars and places like that. Yeah, it's just because it's just me in the business doing everything at the moment. I'm still sort of trying to brew the beer and get it out there and do all the social media and everything else. So I do hope to start popping up in a few more places down south. But for me, I'm a small scale brewer. It's not about being straight into the supermarket. It's about sort of being in the best places where you expect to get a really good craft beer.
Okay, and you did say you're on your own there. So do you not have people helping you there, or I don't know? What?
No, I'm working with a local craft brewery when it comes to production. So I use their kit and work with their team, but it's very much me in charge of managing the scheduling, having all the ingredients in, and making sure that the beer comes out the quality that I expect it to be. So I've been very involved on that side, and then sales and seeing customers and visiting. It's full on.
Okay. And so I'm thinking of a couple of things. One is, there's a local pub near us I quite like. I think it's Green King, but do you actually have to approach every single pub chain to get them to license your beer or market your beer?
Yeah, I mean, for me at the moment, I'm very much working with the independents. Independent craft pubs, or that, up in Edinburgh, we've got small groups, maybe 5 or 6 pubs. When you're very small, it's quite hard to approach some of the big chain pubs because they're tied up with the Heinekens of this world and the big brewers, and they don't have the tap space or the fridge space is all tied up. So but I'm quite happy at this point to be working with the independents, the people who sort of really get behind small brewers and want to showcase what's new and what's different.
Okay, and what will you have a range? Do you have a range of beers? Are you developing products?
Yeah. So it's just the lager that's on sale at the moment. I do have something in development, which I will be sharing in the next couple of weeks. I've just canned a small batch of something new, which I will be looking for people to try and to help me develop. My plan is to build up a core range and then add more experimental seasonal lines as it comes along. But while it's just me trying to do everything, I'm keeping it as simple as I can for the moment.
Okay, no, that makes sense. I have to say I like it.
Good. I'm pleased.
It works quite well. Just talking with you and savouring your yard arm.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I wanted this to be a beer that was was easy drinking. And actually, it sounds a weird thing to say, to have a sessionable alcohol-free beers, but quite a lot of the beers out there have got kind of a slightly odd aftertaste that, you know, you wouldn't want to drink more than one or two of them. And when you're out with friends who are drinking, you want to drink as much as them. You know, sort of match them drink for drink, whether that's an alcoholic drink or an alcohol-free drink. But it's kind of from every aspect of it to kind of have the same experience that your friends are.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm curious, how do you take the alcohol out?
I don't take it out.
Oh, really?
I just brew it to be naturally low in alcohol.
Oh, right.
So the likes of the Heineken and the other big brewers will probably have some sort of quite big industrial process where you brew a normal beer and then you extract the alcohol. And there's a couple of different ways you can do that, with sort of vacuum distillation or reverse osmosis. But for me, it needed to be something that you could brew on standard equipment. And I don't know, for me, there's almost like a challenge of using the sort of ancient art of brewing and tweaking it and evolving it to get something which produces a really good tasting ultra low alcohol beer. So yes, so it's about just managing every aspect of the process to get the flavor out and to produce as little alcohol as possible.
Okay. And I'm curious then, have you done the design? Where's the graphics come from for the Yardam logo?
Yeah, so we're using the nautical flag system of communication. So those three
is that
flags.
This one, the square?
Yeah, so the three squares on the front, the shapes, are all part of the nautical flag's alphabet.
Okay.
So the red and yellow diagonals, that's Y, and then A and L for yard arm lager. So I wanted kind of something that can have a little fun in terms of decoding what the different flags mean.
Okay.
And and something sort of colourful as well.
Yeah, because
I think
I thought it was, well, I made an assumption. I thought it might have been a rugby jersey of some description, but obviously I'm wrong there, because you used to actually play. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. That's probably how I first got into my beer drinking, and it probably still stems back from trying to run really fast away from that girl-eating monster. This all sort of ties in because as well as rugby, I've enjoyed a lot of sailing in my time. A lot of my happy times have been aboard a boat with a cold beer in hand. So that's where the flags come from. I think they actually stopped using them as official maritime communication systems sort of at the end of World War I, after there'd been some misdirection in people interpreting each other's flags. So in times gone past, this is and specific flags have specific meanings, like engines operating astern or need assistance and things like that. So there's lots of different ways in which you can read the flags.
Okay, so and how can people get hold of a can or a few cans?
Yeah, so if you go to our website, JumpShip.beer, you'll find a list of all of our local stock. It's mainly in Edinburgh. There's a couple of places down south, and also a link to some of our online customers where you can buy directly online. So if you order somewhere like Dry Drinker before 5 o'clock, you can have it with you the next day.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar. A Dry Drinker, that's what is Dry Drinker? Is that
Yeah, so it's there's a few different specialist alcohol-free online retailers now. So while the supermarkets are expanding their ranges, I think for the best selections, particularly for smaller drinks producers, there's some great specialist online websites where you can, if you were looking to explore the alcohol-free category, you can go and order mixed cases and try out try out there's a lot more out there than you might think, based on what's on the shelf in your local Tesco's.
Okay, I'm an Aldi fan actually.
So am I. Aldi's fantastic.
Yeah, no, that's great. So when am I get to see you? Are you coming down to England at some point in the future?
Yeah, well, I mean, all travel plans are a bit weird at the moment. So I was hoping to come down in June for the big family party, but we'll see what happens in the next month. So
Okay, you mean travel because of the flu?
yeah, the whole coronavirus.
Yeah, I just find it totally irritating, and I hope as many people as possible realise and recognise the truth behind that. It's essentially, it is the common cold, but it's just a dramatic doing a thing to scare everybody for no reason, I think.
I don't know, for the groups that are at risk, it's pretty scary. So yeah, following the government advice as to what we should be doing, making sure that I've got my warehouses filled with enough beer to keep people going for the next few months if we're spending a lot of time at home.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see how it pans out. I imagine it'll just dissipate and life will carry on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's great. Yeah, the beer is great. I love it. It's just very different, I think. Very different, essentially work-wise, from what you traditionally were doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's a massive change for me. Up until last year, I was marketing was my world. Working with different businesses and charities to help them get their brands and their causes out there. So yeah, I never thought I'd end up knowing quite so much about brewing beer as I do, but it's an exciting journey. And it's an exciting place to be right now. I mean, there's been a lot in the news about people's drinking habits changing, and I think there's a lot of people who, I mean, I did some crowdfunding last year to sort of help get me over the line, and was really blown away by the response to people who liked the idea of what I was wanting to do, and who got behind me and backed me. There's a lot of people out there reassessing their relationship with alcohol, but who still want a good beer. So if I can help bring more good alcohol-free options to people out there, then that'll make me happy. Yeah,
no, it's fantastic. And I wish you all the best of luck with the the building of your business and the products that you're going to be offering and providing. Yeah, it's fantastic. Well done.
Thank you very much, Richard, and I'm glad you like my beer.
Oh yeah, I'm quite surprised. It's good. You did well.
Excellent.
I mean, of course. I mean, I always knew you would.
That's all right. Great. Well, and yeah, it's nice to have the chance to talk about it. So thanks.
Oh, you're more than welcome. And yeah, look forward to seeing you soon. And good luck, yada yada. Yeah, everyone, shop and buy a few cans for yourself and see what you like. I think you'd be quite impressed. That's my helpful sales pitch.
Great. And when I've canned my new beer, I'll send you some and look forward to hearing what you think of it. I
do look forward to that. Yeah. I'll send you my address.
Brilliant.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sonja.
Great. Thanks, Richard. And speak soon.
Yeah. Cheers. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
And now it's time for some hilarious comedy on Everyman Radio.
This fantastic Technogadgetbore show is proudly sponsored by webscontent.com. Fast, secure and reliable.
Fast, secure, and reliable web hosting from Web's Content.
Hi. My question for Mr. Technogadgetbore is, what did you have to give up to be successful?
Yes. And thank you for the question. It's a very good question. So what did I have to give up? The first thing I had to give up was my love of the ZX Spectrum. It was a great computer I had. It had rubber keys. And I realized I had to give it up, and so I could learn how to use the Windows operating system. And so many Windows operating... Oh, actually, I forgot. I had an Amstrad as well after my ZX Spectrum, and that was a good one, because you could put tapes in it. And then I used the Windows. Lots of Windows. And now I'm looking at getting a new operating system. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm getting a new computer, looking at building a computer using a new thing. It's going to be very good, and I can't wait to show you. But thanks for the question, and I hope that helped. I think it was just breaking free, breaking forward, moving forward, something like that. I'm just looking for my button. Yeah, Mega Match time. So, thank you for listening, thank you for watching, and be sure to tune in for some more tips on Technogadgetboreshow.com.
New music.
We're flying high like a jet stream. See it in your eyes that you feel me. Never wanna come down to the ground. Setting sparks to fires when you're with me. And I realize what it all means when our hearts beat loud to the beat.
Thank you for listening to Everyman Radio. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with your friends on social media.
Goodbye.